Alright, this next video is going to start you off how to bring the letters over to your design, over to your image. You're going to open up your doc and you're going to pick one of your quotes to use. So I'm going to do this one right here. Making the simple complicated is commonplace. Making the complicated simple, awesomely simple, that's creativity, by Charles Mingus. So you can kind of keep this open and review it or refer to it whenever you need to. So as long as I remember a couple of words, making the simple complicated. So what you're going to do is a repetition of the same thing over and over and over again. So, and I know I mentioned this in class, if you feel like you're getting bored, that's actually good. You're actually in the going in the right direction. But this series of videos is going to take you through the process. And towards the end, there's actually some like shortcuts or some other things that you can do to kind of, you know, kick it up a notch as you start working. So the first word is making. All right. So we're going to start off with picking one of the M's. By using the zoom tool, it allows you to select a window to zoom into it. I find it to be really, really helpful because if you just do the command plus and command minus, it's only going to zoom in the center. But, you know, let's say you want to get the A's, you go to the zoom tool and it takes you over to the A's. If you hold down the space bar, it allows you to, gives you the hand tool in which you can move around to different parts of your picture. So I'm going to pick one of the M's to be my first word. You don't have to worry about it being capital or lowercase. You know, if it's the first word of a sentence, start with the, you know, capital letter. You don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to zoom in quite a bit. You're using a brand new tool, and it's called the polygonal lasso tool. What you're going to do is you're going to select around this M. You're going to make a copy of that M, and then you're going to bring it over to this picture right here. Alright. So I'm going to click on the corner.
Sorry, I cannot.
Siri thinks I'm talking to her. You're going to click on the corner. And if you just click, it actually kind of locks in that corner. I'm going to go to the next corner and click. The next corner, click. I find that when you zoom in, you get it a little more accurate. Okay, now you can single click or double click, and then you completed that that selection. Marching ants are going to move around, and then you're unlocked now. It's moving freely. Let's say that you messed up and you want to restart it. Like the corner isn't really good. Over here, maybe I selected too much. If you hit the escape button, which is the top left-hand side of your keyboard, you can make it go away and you can start again. Okay. While we're still on the selection tool, with polygonal lasso tool, you're going to go inside of this selection and you're going to right click, layer via copy. You can see now that that layer now made a copy. It's called layer 1. So we're going to set it up where we're going to use the move tool, and it allows you to move it around. And we're going to go to the photo bin, and we're going to literally just drag this down on top of the image. And it's going to show up kind of small. So at this point you can make it bigger, rotate it. You're going to be modifying it quite a bit. Alright, so I'm going to do the process again. I'm going to go back to this here, this layer, this letters image. I'm going to take this layer right now. I'm going to put it in the trash. I don't need it anymore. That's kind of important to do because it'll keep you from getting confused, because sometimes when you make a selection, you actually select the wrong layer. You should always be in the background. The background should be active, and what I mean by that is that your background layer should be dark blue like this. Even if you have a couple of layers that you forgot to delete, like if I kept the M, you always want to make sure the background layer is active. When you're making your selection, right click, layer via copy, okay, and I bring it on over, okay, and again you can make it bigger or smaller as you just see fit. That's fine. You can also delete images as you don't need them. You can move them around. You can rotate them. We're going to be playing around with these in a little while. Alright. But that's essentially the beginning of it. What I want to show you real quick is in the event you make a selection. Now I'm going to go and scoot over to one of the A's. Now I already had a red M, so I'll use this blue right here. I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool and make my selection. Now I want you to notice something. I'm not in the background. My background layer is not active. Oh, it is active. Let me make that not active. Okay. If I come over here and I made my selection, it allows me to. But now if I go ahead and I right click, layer via copy, and layer 1 is active instead of the background, notice it says, it pops up, can't make a new layer from the selection because no pixels are selected. You might not know what that's all about. But if you look at layer 1, that's what you're using. We make the background invisible. You can see that the computer is absolutely right. You're selecting nothing. So just make the background visible again. Make sure you're on the polygonal lasso tool. Right click, layer via copy. So it's not to say that you have to keep deleting all these images or all these layers as you make them. It's just to make it a little bit more less confusing for you, a little more clear. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to continue this behind the scenes. I'm going to make a couple of words and then I'm going to take you through the next step.